Hey guys, I'm Dave. So for this example, I'm looking at a song by Bethel, and the reharmonization starts off pretty simple, but then as you see, I'm using a lot of chord extensions here. And I kind of want to walk you through how I got from a simple melody, or how we're going to create a simple arrangement, and then how we're going to use some chord substitution to give it that neo-soul, that jazz R&B sound. Spice it up, make it a little more creative, a little more detailed. So starting from just the melody, right? We're going to look at the melody. We're in the key of C for this song. We're going, holy, holy. Okay, so that melody there, and the chord behind it is just a simple C, a tonic. So think of your cage system, right? We have, in this shape, that high E on the melody there. So we could technically go, holy, holy. Okay? We could also play the A shape, C, A, for the C chord, and we could go, okay, we can find our notes there as well. Alright, so two practical ways there I'm thinking of. Now, as we get a little more spicier with the seventh chords, the dominant seventh chords, and the 2-5-1s, the secondary dominants, we're gonna start using other areas of the fretboard. We're gonna expand out of this cage system to create some shell voicing or spread voicing. But for the simple version, I'm taking either this shape here, or I can take my A shape, C, A. Holy, holy, holy. All right, the next part of the melody, the next measure, if you will, or bar, is holy, holy. All right, so we're going F to E, basically. We're going E, D, C to F, E, D. And the chord we're using is going to be a C suspended chord. So it's a suspended means we're not playing the third anymore. So that means C, E, G. We're going to make the E an F. So that works there. We could technically play with the A shape. We could continue to create the melody on the second string using our pinky. Or we could go... Now we're playing the third in the bass, in the fourth string here on the second fret. We could make it the third fret of the fourth string. Right, and that's your suspended C suspended chord. And then you could hit the D right there. You could do something like, all right. And then the next part is going to be, and we're looking at the notes of G. We're running down the C major scale, G, F, E, D, C. All right, and then what's the chord that goes beneath this? It's going to be an F chord. All right, so now we could play the F chord using this shape here. If we were going to do it in this shape using E and then taking it to the F chord, all right, we could do something like that. So we're going to do, the next one is going to be an A minor chord behind this, and it's going to be, and then we finish with an F chord. But we're going to look at this, the melody that we're looking at here is going to be G, and we're running down the C major scale. So G, F, E, D, C. You could play A right here, A minor. I have an A minor 7 here. That works. Okay, what about if we take our E minor shape, place it here on the 5th fret. We could do this shape right here. We could remove our pinky from the 7th fret of the 4th string and play an A minor 7 to the 5th fret, barring it, and then proceed to play the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Go to an F chord after that. So the F chord is going to be last, and that's a C note in the high melody. You can play it right there. You could play right there, and then you can bring it down. You can play your third in the bass on the 5th fret of the 6th string. So that's a simplified way of playing it, right? Just having the basic harmony behind the main melody. So what then am I gonna do to think of reharmonization tactics to make this sound more intermediate or advanced? The first thing I'm thinking is, all right, so in my advanced arrangement, what was I doing? I was doing a C major 7 chord, okay? This is your C major 7 shape right here. And I was using some embellishments. I'm doing a note that's outside of the key now. That's B flat to B. All right? And I'm creating the melody in the 2nd string. All right? So, and then what was I doing as far as we have another technique where the secondary dominant, the next chord, instead of playing a C suspended 4 chord, I thought about making it more interesting using another chord in the family of the key of C. I thought of using the 2 chord, the D minor chord. So I'm thinking, all right, how about we throw in a secondary dominant? A chord that goes, that is the 5 of the D minor, that leads into the D minor, and that would be an A7. And that's what I'm doing here, a shell voicing. I'm going, all right? That A7, playing the 1, 3, and 7, is leading into your D chord, your D minor. And then once again, I'm doing some embellishments here, kind of like creating a harmony with the melody. All right. So, and then what am I doing after that? I'm going to my A minor chord. So a chord that pulls to your A minor, a 5th above A minor, is going to be E7. And I was doing this right here. Same shape as the A7 chord, shell voicing now on the 7th fret, your root of the 5th string. 1, 3, 7. That's a E7 right there. So I was thinking, right there, yeah, once more. Okay, so there's your 2 secondary dominants so far. We had a C major 7, A7 pulling to a D minor 7, then E7 pulling to A minor 7, okay? So there's your next level right there, your secondary dominants. And then we can follow the melody. Lonely are you. And then finish with your F major 7 chord I had playing here. And we could pull, we could go to your 5-7 chord there, your C7, to pull to the F major 7, which would sound like. And then you could hit that higher melody right there in the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, which is what I'm going to demonstrate in the even more advanced version after this. I'll show you how I use a 2-5-1 after just getting these secondary dominants down. So, all right, I go to this chord here, C7, and then F major 7. Now, what was I doing finally? I was going from this chord right here to this right here. What is this? Let me analyze this with you. This is called a diminished chord. This is your B diminished. Now, how you build a diminished chord is stacking on 3 notes that are 3 frets apart from each other. Kind of like that. So I played a B right here. I played an F, okay? And then I played G sharp and A flat. And you'll see the relationship between these notes. They're all 3 frets apart because the A flat to B, 3 frets. The F to the A flat, 3 frets. And then I finished with playing a D on the second string. Okay? And then you'll see F right there. So we're playing all the notes of this full diminished chord right here. And then, because this shape is movable, we can slide this shape 3 frets away, like right here, and we have the same notes. Try it again. Oh, there you go. So I'm pulling from that B diminished, full diminished, to a D full diminished, which is all the same notes. And you can go through it and test it out yourself. You're just rearranging them. So we still have a B, we still have a flat, we have a D, and then we have an F. All the same notes as right here. So I'm going, and then back to C major 7. It's like it's pulling home. Alright, so from the secondary dominant section we had to A7, pulling to D minor, E7 pulling to A minor, C7 pulling to F major 7, and then finishing with B diminished to D diminished, and then back to home, C major 7. There you are. So the final section for reharmonization is going to be looking at how we can do a 2-5-1. And what this means is I'm taking not only the 5 chord to pull into the next chord in the next measure, but I'm doing a 2 chord before that to precede it. And I'll show you what I mean here. I'm playing, all right, and then I'm going, okay. And what's that there? This is going to be an E going to an A7 to D minor, okay? The E is the 2 chord in the D minor, all right, in relationship to the D minor. So I'm going, I played an E7, you could play E minor 7, all right, you could go A7 and then D minor, all right? I kind of liked the tension that the E7 was giving. This is where we're introducing the secondary dominants and the 2-5-1. You're going to get a lot of notes now that are non-diatonic. They're outside of the key, so they sound extra jazzy and spicy. It's pretty cool. I like it. So, and as far as the melody, I'm sliding into it from the 4th fret of the 2nd string. So that's in a D sharp or an E flat sliding into an E, which is outside of the key again. Okay. Pretty neat. And then shell voice, and I'm using the shell voicing of the E7 there too, because I'm creating the melody on the 2nd string, 4th fret to 5th fret, and then pulling off from 7 to 5 on the 3rd string. Shell voicing A7, then. All right, and then what am I doing here? Same formula. I'm going D minor. I'm thinking about the A minor that we're going to go into with the and I'm going to go D minor. I'm going to go B7, which is the 2 chord in relationship to the A minor, okay, the B minor, and then I'm going to go to, so I'm going E7 is the 5 of A minor, okay, pulls into it. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm playing the shell voicing, 1, 3, 7, starting on the root note of your 7th fret of the 6th string. I'm sliding up again from, on the melody, the 5th to the 6th fret on the 2nd string. And then I'm taking my pinky off of the 7 on the B7 and playing 7th fret of the 3rd string to create the melody. And then finishing with E7, Just shifting my fingers up to play that sharp voicing. So once more it's going to be. And then A minor. And then I'm going, okay, so the next chord is going to be, in the next measure, F major 7, right? The 2 is a G minor, and then the 5 is the C7 as we looked at. So I'm playing a G minor, which allows me to play the melody on top. So I'm thinking, holy, holy, holy are you, Lord. All right? So it so happens to work that this, have this chord shape right here to create the melody on top. Then I create the F to E melody on the second string while playing the G minor chord. And then I finish with C7, and the melody, the D note, is on top, second string. So once more, and then finish with, and then you could bar it again so you hit the melody, the C note on top. All right, you could just play a regular F chord. That's cool. F major 7 sounds a little cooler in my opinion. So, and I'm barring my first fret of the first and second string right here too. To do a hammer-on from the 1 to the 3, the F to G on the first string. And then finish with, alright, your diminished chords. And there you go, guys. That is how I reharmonize and use chord substitution to take a song from just simple harmony, just using, chords in the diatonic family with the melody on top, your basic chord melody arrangements, into a more neo-soul, basic jazz, R&B styled riff or etude. Be sure to leave a comment on what you would like your next lesson to be on, and leave a thumbs up. And thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something from this.